deep in the skull of the blue whale in the museum's whale hall lives a colony of beetles. They are skin beetles or domestic beetles. And I tried approaching wildlife recordists and sound recordists, but it turned out that there was no obvious go-to person for recording a colony of insects in the skull of a whale. And eventually, it took quite a few weeks, but eventually I found some help from the Natural History Museum in London, who it turned out have their own colony of domestic beetles. But those beetles, they're not pests. They actually work for the museum. And it turns out that skin-eating beetles like these, like the Sebraclana, provide an excellent way to allow museums to strip the flesh from the carcasses of animals of exhibits that they want to put on show. And the London Natural History Collection didn't have a sound recording of their beetles to go, but to my delight, they agreed to have a go at making a recording for me. And I looked on while this long email exchange began to develop between various scientists and technicians who got really quite excited about this challenge. And they were debating how best to make this recording. After a wait, an email arrived in my inbox with a sound file attached, labelled "Domested, Possible Bite." I was really excited. And I opened it. And this is what I heard. Okay, you ready? I'll just play that for you again. I was so disappointed. These were clearly really very sleepy beetles indeed. But then a second file appeared. And this one was labelled "Domestic, Possible Stridulation." Now, stridulation, for those of you unfamiliar with the term, and I was unfamiliar with the term, describes an insect's habit of rubbing its legs or wings together, like a cricket's kind of noise, to create a sound. So now, this is domestic, possible stridulation. And so I opened the file and I began to hear this very eerie, almost hypnotic sound. And this is the sound that we would hear, or would be made if we could hear it if we were to listen to the beetles inside the museum's blue whale. So this is actually the sound that they would make.